Well, legendary family, y'all, obviously I expected it. I called it. I knew what they were going to use and how they were going to use it. Albeit the pocket dimension trick, I had to feel like it was a butt pull. Let's be real. It was a last minute ditch effort, in all honesty here. Even though the scaling for both sides were downright horrendous here. The Unicron and let's just start off with the Galactus information, right? The Galactus information seemed pretty well, albeit they did include crossovers, but they didn't do it for Galactus. It's very interesting. But they also included the Chaos Galactus and the Lifebringer Galactus as well, when there's context behind that. But again, I'm not gonna be mad about that, but the sheer fact that Galactus doesn't even remember these power-ups here just goes to show you what Death Battle was doing from the get-go, They were going to use everything they had for Galactus, despite the sheer fact that the context of it was pretty much there in their face here, but Death Battle has never been good at looking at context, nor at cosmology here. I mean, the sheer fact that they use this version of Galactus, this magic god Galactus, if you will. And again, I do think Galactus is naturally above Dormammu, but the sheer fact that they used everything for this one, and still didn't include how Doctor Strange was able to kill this dude with Eldritch magic is, it's pretty funny to me. The Ultimate Nullifier stuff was pretty good here, albeit I was just like, okay, so, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's some cool stuff right there. But let's get into the Unicron information and what we're really going to have to fix here, right? So Unicron was, he was did dirty. Obviously, he was did absolutely filthy in this one. I mean, geez. I expected it to be bad, but they somehow just make it worse, right? Now, the Hackers and ability section, I mean, how could they get that wrong? I'm being, dead serious right now. How could they, get that wrong here? Unicron had all of his powers, all of his abilities, and if we went to the Galactus section, Galactus didn't have too much for him. He didn't have too much here, so Unicron had a very big hacks advantage, even though some of these hacks are very much the same here. However, Unicron seemed to have more, and they actually did discuss the multiversal singularity, but then, well, let's get into the first part we're going to fix, right? The spark of Unicron, right? Where they said it just drove a planet insane and didn't bother going into the context of this. Unicron's spark went to this distant planet because he was petty. He wanted a planet filled with life here that he could drive into chaos, hunger, destruction. And here's the thing, right? They say Unicron is all those things, but they never talked about how he feeds on it, how he can power himself up from it, right? And give himself a new body far quicker than anything here. And again, how he's around chaos entities and he could simply absorb them. Oh, wait. Let's get into the funny part. Now, I told you they were going to crop these scans repeatedly, right? I told you guys they weren't going to use them properly. But the fact that they said the Transformers universe cosmology was inconsistent, saying that, it ranges from different numbers, when they have the exact same scans that I've been using, by the way, especially when it says the universes are infinite in size with infinite possibilities attached to them, meaning one universe is a multiverse, and they don't even go into the megaverse and then by extension, the Omniverse, which Unicron is capable of destroying. They don't go into how a basic universe has multiple timelines, like I said earlier, and they don't even go into things like how the universes have transwarp space around them, how they're swirling in antimatter, how one decision can create an infinite number of universes. Oh, but wait, here's also the funny thing, right? They used these scans here, but still said that it was inconsistent. That's what I find funny about it. And again, I told y'all, they were going to mess it up. And they messed this up. I think they messed this up worse than Frieza versus Megatron. And it was so easy to fix, to study, to research. And they said Unicron can only destroy a universe or the multiverse or the omniverse one at a time. No, he can't. He's done it. I'm sorry. No, he doesn't. He he's destroyed the multiverse multiple times to the point where Primus had to create the 13 original Primes to basically keep on maintaining and guarding the multiverse from Unicron, because he couldn't keep doing it. He couldn't keep just remaking it over and over again, fighting his brother, and then having the multiverse be destroyed by either one of their clashes, or Unicron pulls up and say, "What's good? I'm about to just destroy everything since you ain't gonna stop me." So you mean to tell me you guys couldn't even get that right? It was so basic. Like, really, the universe is being operating on metaphysics and stuff, the transwarp space around them, and then the sheer fact that there was other cosmologies a part of it, including Marvel. And man, I'll tell ya, it be some ridiculous stuff going on with Death Battle, don't it? The cosmology was so simple for them to get right, and yet they still managed to mess it up here. There are so many things within the Transformers verse they didn't even bother covering, yet they wanted to show it. They didn't bother showing the scan I used earlier with Dungeons and Dragons. They didn't bother confirming how Ben 10 is a part of the Transformers cosmology. They didn't even bother confirming again the Cthulhu mythos is a part of the Transformers cosmology. Matter of fact, let's talk about those three a little bit, okay? We're gonna scale these cosmologies a bit here. And again, I'm not gonna go too heavily into it, but let's just start off with Dungeons and Dragons, alright? So first we have to start off with the material plane, which is obviously infinite in size. The material plane contains many things. Essentially, it's like this multiverse in Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's able to contain multiple things here. It has alternate realities, alternate planes that have a different form of space and time. Then you have the Abyss, which contains, I think, another layer of infinite, infinite realms and stuff like that. So again, infinite multiverse, infinite number of realms with different forms of space and time. Then you get into the good old Demon Lords. Now, the Demon Lords would scale above the basic gods. These Demon Lords have a symbiotic relationship with their universes, to the point where they're able to control everything about it, even the layers, such as things like normal gravity, normal time, infinite size, I'm probably gonna say this wrong, divinely morphic, which is entities at least as powerful as the lesser deities, I believe, and then they're stronger than the lesser gods. These are beings like Amun-Ra, Odin, Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, Horus, so on and so forth. These beings that exist that are super powerful in things like God of War and stuff are seen like beneath these like Demon Lords. And I think there's only like 3. It's absolutely ridiculous here. But then you also have beings like Mystra, who, when she died, she destroyed, not destroyed, she rearranged the entirety of the multiverse. So you have beings like that exist within the Transformers cosmology, Unicron being able to destroy all of his cosmology repeatedly, and yet Transformers was stated to be a smaller cosmology in compared to Marvel. Yeah, Death Battle, don't touch another Transformers. Please don't touch another Transformers character again, right? But back to the other cosmology, H.P. Lovecraft is actually pretty simple. That sucker gets to high out Versal to Boundless, depending on some characters, and they're also part of the Transformers cosmology. Vector Prime even states that, yeah, the Elder Gods are, like, pretty terrifying, in all honesty, with even their avatars transcending infinite layered spatial dimensions here. And again, they're a part of the Transformers cosmology, to which Optimus Prime was able to beat an Elder God himself here, with the Elder Gods considering to be very close to the avatars of Unicron when it comes to power here. So you mean to tell me that y'all still couldn't even get even the basic information for a Transformers multiverse right? Let alone, I'm glad y'all didn't even bother trying to touch the Megaverse or the Omniverse. And again, the Transformers multiverse or Omniverse isn't really hard. Even with their basic multiverse, you still didn't even bother talking about things like the Alternity Plane. Then there's Cloud World and Transtex, who are made to fight extra dimensional, or basically they're basically made to fight the avatars of Unicron. You don't go into platonic concepts for the Transformers. You don't go into these various things that the Primes have. Oh, wait. But here's the funny thing, right? They mentioned that the Matrix and the Starsaber were able to destroy Unicron. But yet, they also explain that Unicron, these Matrix and Starsabers were literally fragments of Primus, which again I'll get into later. And the thing about this is, even if you say they were going to do it anyway, Legendary, they were always going to mess up. Yes, I believe that. I 100% agree. I said in my last video I made about this that they were going to mess it up. They were going to botch it. They were going to, rip. They I don't know what I don't want to get into like inappropriate words on here and stuff, but they effed it up big time. They really did here. There are so many dimensions and so many properties with these dimensions, like the alternative plane. The alternative plane is a multi-dimensional, universe that has things like 10th dimensional higher planes or 10th dimensional planes in it. It has many other universes or multi-dimensional properties within it and stuff, and they didn't even go into that. They couldn't even go into Cloud World or the Axion Nexus, or how there are infinite higher dimensions within the Transformers multiverse. And again, it's not hard to look this up. It really isn't. You could have asked any experienced Transformers member, a part of your Discord, which apparently you guys have or whatever, and you all still couldn't bother to do your own research properly. That's where it's just it's sad at that point, in all honesty. Now, onto the Unicron section here, and they only included Prima for like his... He defeated Prima, Megatron, Anti-Matrix, and Primus. They don't even give the other 13 original Primes credit, which is absolutely disrespectful on its own here. But let's just use Prima, right? So they don't even go into how the 13 Primes were made or how each one had a specific creation for a specific reason. Prima was the one who embodied everything about Primus. He was basically a miniature Primus, right? Literally the imitation, the perfect copy of Primus himself here. Solus Prime, the goddess of creation in the Transformers verse, could create anything, including her forge of Solus Prime, which also created the Starsaber and the Matrix, so that they could basically have like a double power boost with each other, and they were able to basically destroy Unicron's avatar, not Unicron himself here. And again, as long as there's evil, like they said, there will always be Unicron. Meaning Unicron is always going to come back. It's just that this thing here, this Matrix, these Starsabers, are able to keep him away. And here's the thing, right? They don't even go into the fact that if they have the true Starsaber or not here. With Prima possessing the true Starsaber and the Matrix of Leadership, he was really the only one that could pretty much purify the universe of Unicron, or purify a simple multiverse of Unicron at that time. And they don't even go into that in detail. But let's also go into the Anti-Matrix. The Anti-Matrix was so powerful, it was able to manipulate zero space. Zero space is a dimension in Transformers. You could even say it's a entirely different multiverse or omniverse on its own, but it's able to manipulate the beginning and the end, the past, present, and future. It's able to view everything as fiction and pretty much merge it all into a singularity. So every form of time and no time, every form of existence and end, every form of life and destruction is all within zero space. And the Anti-Matrix essentially manipulates that. Now keep that all in mind. And just remember that Primus is literally the creator of all of it. Literally the creator of all these omniverses, all these multiverses, all these cosmologies that are within the Transformers multiverse. Primus was able to create all of it. Now you might say, why would he create everything? Because everything that has an equal also has an opposite. For every good, there's evil. For everything perfect, there's something that's unperfect. Primus created the multiverse with balance. And again, Unicron is simply doing his job as a force of nature. You might say, oh, similar to Galactus. Yes, they're very similar in that department. However, again, Unicron's cosmology is much bigger than just a single cosmology, which would be Marvel. And again, Marvel has always been a part of the Transformers cosmology. They've always been within each other. Or at least Marvel's been within Transformers, because apparently Unicron is able to wipe out the entire multiverse, has even destroyed the entire omniverse itself. So it is what it is. Now let's go into another argument they had, which was absolutely just idiotic here. They said that Unicron has no experience fighting someone as big as himself. What? So Unicron, the being who fought Primus, someone who y'all put on that list, right, of feats of people he defeated, right, has no experience fighting against someone as big as him. So, yeah, I guess we give it to Galactus, because he hasn't fought anyone as big as him. It's not like Primus, the Anti-Matrix, even, heck, I even think there was another Transformer as big as Unicron. Not a Titan, but, it was somebody else here. It was somebody just as big and as powerful as a Primus in them here. But apparently, Unicron's never fought anybody as big as him. Hey, what y'all think down in the comment section? Has Unicron fought anybody as big as himself? He's never had a fight with somebody who's who's the same size as the overwhelming Planet Eater himself. He has no experience fighting someone like Primus for centuries, eons, billions upon quadrillions of years. He just simply doesn't have it. The experience of dealing with someone who's at the same size as him. So I guess, guys, Galactus would automatically win, because Unicron, someone who's lived since before creation itself, just, doesn't have the experience fighting against somebody who's his size. Hey, yo, you can't make this stuff up. Oh, wait, it's Death Battle. Of course they can, right? It's just... Oh, man, that is actually hilarious. I swear, I think I was, laughing. But again, at the same time, I think my jaw dropped. I'm like, ain't no way they went this far with that kind of argument. Like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, really? That was your argument? Really? Oh, man. All right, let's get into the final breakdown, and we're good here. So, basically, everything here is... They had the same amount of power, same amount of abilities, much tougher and more powerful. No, not at all. Nearly impossible to kill. It was just bad. They didn't even bother scaling half of the characters Unicron fought in Transformers. Just that, they kind of went more by the statements that he could destroy the Transformer, a simple universe, rather than going for, oh, he threatens an infinite multiverse and how many layers are into it. And then they had the audacity to show scans of things like this here, where it's said, what did they say here? I think they said he's fought more powerful gods and even been able to beat them. Not realizing that this scan came from the Chaos War run. And hold on. I'm gonna definitely show you what happened here. Here it is. Chaos War, when Galactus thought he had killed Zeus and the Olympian gods when they were amped by the Chaos King. And Zeus proceeded to just look at Galactus like, you thought that was gonna work, huh? Hold on, I got something for you. And just hit this dude with probably one of the biggest lightning bolts even Thor probably could barely muster, at least in that current time period. And again, he just got dealt with like it's nothing. Keep in mind, he was no match for the Chaos King, who was also an embodiment of chaos. And yet, I'm supposed to believe that Galactus had a chance at winning here. They even go over the Ultimate Nullifier. Again, the Ultimate Nullifier information I predicted pretty well here. Them using it, or at least Galactus using it, to pretty much erase everything from a universe and restarting it, or at least erasing a person from that universe and restarting it here. And the thing is here, I don't think this works on Unicron for multiple reasons here. One, Vector Prime Sword Raceling can erase someone from existence without the need of, restarting the entire universe. So obviously there's more control here with someone who's a time manipulator than the Ultimate Nullifier. Then you also have, you also have here. Oh, sorry. Unicron's existence itself is not tied to one universe. It's tied to an entire omniverse. He's destruction, he's chaos, he's everything evil, he's hunger, he's everything monstrous that the verse has to offer. And here's the thing, right? Shouldn't they have showed Galactus using the Ultimate Nullifier to erase, let's see, what's the thing I'm looking for here? A concept across all realities? Oh, well, it was able to shatter eternity. Yeah, but he came right back. I mean, he came back. It was just, it hurt. But again, he came right back. I think even in the same run, too, he came right back like it was nothing here. So, Galactus, the Ultimate Nullifier isn't even a proper win con. Because again, it's not even in the same categories as like the Matrix and Starsaber. It's a weapon meant to erase you and everything from existence and restart the entire universe as if you were never there. Meanwhile, the Matrix and Starsaber together or individually in the hands of a Prime. Again, I don't think I should have to emphasize this, but again, this is Death Battle we're talking here. In a Prime is meant to erase Unicron, or at least put Unicron in a temporary halt. Okay? It doesn't affect him across the entirety of the omniverse. It just puts him at a halt here. And again, this is because it's literally made out of the concept or the, basically his brother himself, who are exact opposites here. And again, he can survive having his spark erased. That in all honesty, that is a low ball. The dude cannot die at all because there's always going to be evil and there's always going to be destruction, carnage, and chaos. Essentially, Galactus himself here could give way to a new Unicron. What's to stop Unicron from pretty much enveloping Galactus and then just being like, well, this is a nice, neat, and new body. I'm just gonna give me like 2 minutes to gestate and boom, new Unicron right on the spot. And again, like I said earlier, what happens if Unicron just absorbed Galactus? Oh wait, I forgot, y'all didn't talk about that, because again, that would have hurt y'all arguments a bit more, now wouldn't it? But in all honesty, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really think I have missed anything. Let me know in the comment section down below if I did. My opinion on the Death Battle in general, animation was great. Yeah, I'll never knock that. I'll never knock the animation. I'll never knock the music. Albeit sometimes it can be a bit lazy. Like Goku vs. Superman 3, the animation was a little at times weird. But again, it was a good animation nevertheless here. Music was alright. Not my taste, but it's alright. But as for the information, and obviously everything that was shown here, everything I presented here, Unicron should have just grabbed Galactus and absorbed him into him. Maybe leaving the clothes behind. You never know. But at the end of the day here, yeah. Galactus was, no, matter of fact, yeah, well, hold on, what am I apologizing for? Galactus himself was given a lot more, obviously. Death Battle always does this. They give somebody a lot more than the other. And again, Transformers got botched again. This does hurt Transformers power scales like myself a little bit, because again, it makes our job 10 times harder. But again, I welcome the challenge here. But hey, let me know what you guys think down below. Comment, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.